Who am I? That's that famous question by Ramana Maharshi that's been, well, thrashed. So what is the answer to that question? I'm Jason for awakenedessence.com. It's a tricky question, and I'm smiling because I don't know what I'm going to say next, but in terms of that question, who are you? I have my answer, but I worked at it for a long time through my practice, and if you follow the principles in this website, principles like the laws of grace, remembering to practice, applying your practice, making sure it's in your body. So as I say in all my videos, we practice as I talk. So feel your hands, notice your backside, contract your pelvic floor so you know where the base of your torso is, the base of your being. If you can be aware of your hands, your backside, your tummy breathing, allowing everything to be as it is, be that stress, tension, whatever, if you're allowing it to be and you're conscious of it, it will change. That's the nature of consciousness, because you're making it conscious. That's the whole thing about this journey. Awakening to what? Awakening to being conscious, not awakening to being asleep, thinking you're going to do something once and it's all over. Nope. It's an ongoing application. Hence I talk about the habit, the practice, and the layers, the duration, the entry, the depth, the length throughout your day, and how quickly you can access it when things are good and when things turn to custard, i.e. stuff gets difficult, people get difficult. You have physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain come through. What do you do? Who is the I that does the choosing in terms of your consciousness? Who am I? Your relationship to this question will shift as your practice deepens. When you first are in the first phases of this journey, when you sit still, and by still I just mean physically still, everybody gets that existential terror or freak out if you actually hold stillness long enough and you open up into the more expanded levels of consciousness. Your mind, your ego, or as I like to term it, your separation mechanism freaks out. So you think, oh, or it will say something nice like, oh, see, I'm being still. Oh, dang, stillness is gone. Who am I? Feel it. Again, are you still aware of the space that you are? Tummy, hands, feet. Can you hold all those body parts in the bigger space? Can you notice that bigger space? We're asking you to notice it. My eyes are asking you to notice it because I said we. Notice the space that allows body parts to be in different locations. Your ears that can hear my voice. Possibly the internal dialogue that's chattering between your ears. They're all in a different space. So what is that space? And this is where the who am I question comes in. Who are you? If you can feel your hands and your feet, and there's chattery voice upstairs saying, who am I? Who's the questioner? Who's the owner? Right? Notice this isn't where your feet are. Who am I? So there's something that allows all these things to exist. Is that you? Your relationship to this space. I've done a video on what is space. What is space that allows everything to be as it is. Now, if you are consciously experiencing that, here's the next question. Is that you? Feel. Hands, backside, inner space. Where's the breath going? Body tensions being as they are, pains being as they are, noises, being as they are. Internet connection being as it is. Feel, notice, feel the lower parts of your body. Again, as I repeatedly, follow the steps as we do it so you can experience this. So as you experience the container that allows hands, feet, chattering head, this video, the screen you are looking at, and the things outside of that screen, if you allow your vision to soften so you can see what's outside of that screen, this is another way to help you experience this. Be aware of your peripheral vision. Neurologically, this helps you get there. Left and right brain activate, takes you into the alpha brainwave pattern. Not just the left side of the hemisphere. Your relationship to the container that allows everything to be as it is will change. This is what the who am I question seems to point to. For me on this journey, the first 5 years of practicing Eckhart Tolle's stuff, being in the now, being present, what was it? My practice was very mental, making space, looking at trees and seeing the space. That was mental body, third eye, nonsense, not real. Perceiving nirvana and bliss and all those good things, but it was made in my mind, and a lot of people are trapped there. You may know someone that will say to you, so who's the questioner? Who's the owner? It's a good possibility. That's where their practice is. It's not real. So feel your hands, feel your feet. Notice your breathing. What tensions are there in your body? Your body is your neurology, is your radar, your receptivity, your actual ways you connect to who you are. Otherwise we wouldn't need a body, would we? Feeling your body. Notice at the subtle layers there's something else there, a container. A stillness that allows noise. A stillness that has no judgment about noise or about the words I use or the judgments that you have, whether they be good or bad, about this video, me, or your own life, or what your local politician is up to. Just allows it to be. And there's always a good answer to that question, because it's happening, it is. Therefore it's God's will. So who gives you the right to judge it? So, back to the space. The container. As you consciously learn to hold that container that holds the body, holds the mind, holds the experiences, allows you to experience emotions without judging them, gives you the capacity to do inquiry, which is as you hold the stillness and you notice the behavior patterns and the belief patterns, you can see how your internal software, your belief systems and your emotions create you to behave in certain ways. You can see those with the container, the space. My other favourite word is the nothingness. Take a look at it. Spend a long time looking at it. Does it exist? Is it a container or is it a no container? Who am I? As you anchor that practice and things get released, separation mechanisms, that's my word for it, get released, you are able to be more comfortable with the space, the presence, the nothingness. and it is consciousness. It allows a chooser. So I am Jason. So I don't know if Jason chooses to be aware of that space, or the space is just letting Jason believe he's choosing to be that space. But let's go a little bit deeper. Feel that space. And as you work with your practice and you get more consistent at holding it throughout your day, where are you now? You on a train? You're at home? You're at work? Be aware of that space. You become accustomed to that container, that space. You realize more and more and more that any decisions or chatty mind or emotions or physical pains actually are not you, because they change. So what doesn't change? Hands, feet, tummy. Notice how often I prompt in these videos. Question would be, and drop a comment either in the YouTube or on the Facebook, or send me a question on the contact form about how often do you practice? How often do you trigger back into this? So, the space. How often are you aware of that? How often do you remember that? Your relationship to that changes. When you start this journey, it's definitely not you, is it? Take a look. Because if you already were that space and you knew that from the start, you would have been an enlightened saint, an avatar born that way, most probably. We all had it as kids. Can you remember when you lost it? I can. You were that unity when you were born, and you lost it. At least for this lifetime. You fell asleep. It all became about me and mine, and you're different. So the space, back to the hands, tummy. What's your relationship with the nothing that allows all these things to be? Are you feeling it right now? Has it changed since we last looked? And every time you've checked in and actually got in contact with it over the last, 60 practicings, whether that's in the last hour or the last 2 days or the last 3 years, has that nothingness actually changed? So this is where we get to the crux of the answer. There's one or two things that's going to happen, if I can remember to say it. One, is that nothingness you? When you say, who am I? Do you feel that nothingness as, or at least as equal as the name that's on your birth certificate that people call you by? They go, oh, Jason. Do you feel as equally at home? And that's why I use the word home a lot in my videos. Come home. Nothingness, space. How's those hands and backside? Or the nothingness that allows all these things to be as they are. Your relationship with the nothingness. Do you genuinely know? You feel home is that nothingness. The everything. The nothing can be infinitely small or at one with the world, man. Huge and big at the same time. When you've got a dichotomy going, you kind of know you're on the right path. Like I say, awakening is mathematical and everybody else will say it isn't, but we're both right. There are principles that will bring you home fast. You apply those, it is mathematical. You don't apply them, it is mathematical, because you won't come home. Unless you're extremely lucky. And then you go dysfunctional because you can't cope, because your conscious systems, your your software, your unconscious systems don't know what to do with it anymore because there's been no software upgrades. So we're consciously practicing now, right? We're preparing you for when you realize, holy crap, I am nothing. There is no one home. There is no one that's... this is the other point. What's this? Oh, I'm being an observer. Is the nothingness an observer? Take a look. The observer is mind splitting itself out. So you're taking yourself away from your own wholeness. Contemplate it, take a deep look. If you disagree, let me know. Send me something precise and I'll do another video on it. So observing disassociation is wrong. What are the basic steps I talk about every video? Feel your hands, notice your tummy breathing, feel your pelvic floor, feet. Chest down, heart down. If you like your heart thing, do the sternum. You can't point to a chakra, but you can feel sternum. Feel the body parts, anchor it in your neurology and your DNA and your cells. So you're in your body. It's hard to disassociate then, isn't it? The nothingness is okay with it because it's happening. I hope this logic works for your mind. But as you practice it, it becomes real. That's the point. So there's a couple of definitions of awakening. One that Adya uses that I really love is the dissolving of the self, the dissolving of your identity. So that means there's Jason Chooser in my case, and just add your own name there, and there's nothingness that allows Jason to do whatever he's doing. When I go, who am I? Or something goes down in my life, like my desire for the wind to stop so it doesn't get interrupted in the video, I feel the space, the nothingness. That's okay with the wind. I hope you are too. The nothingness doesn't care. The nothingness loves me so much, it doesn't care about the wind. The nothingness doesn't care so much that it will give a child leukemia when it's 3 months old. Right? That's love. Unconditional. It is. If it's happening, it is. The nothingness allows everything to be as it is. Sorry for the bad example, but just trying to convince your mental patterning so you have correct focus. Back to the hands, feet, space. What is that space? Is it something or nothing? As you go through the layers of awakenings and your personality, your separation mechanisms fall apart and move away, well, dissolve, sometimes in big chunks, sometimes in small chunks, and sometimes in hugely massive chunks when you have big awakenings. You will have lots and lots of awakenings, let's be clear about that. They're an event. It's when they become continuous, then you know you're abiding, and that's proper enlightenment where the stillness never leaves. And you can still be an asshole and still have crap to deal with when that happens, right? Stillness doesn't mind. The nothingness doesn't mind. It lets it happen. Look at all the teachers out there that do all sorts of troubly things, all sorts of stuff with their followers and stuff. I mentor. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a guru. I mentor because it's for you to work it out. It's your own will, your own choice. Examine these things. Examine what I've said in this video. So, Jason, nothingness. What's this mechanism's relationship to those two things? Somewhere where I hit the abiding phase over a decade ago now. This guy here, all of a sudden his practice didn't work. Why was that? The nothingness was already there instantly, and actually before I actually said it or even looked. For months and months and months. My practice isn't working, it's just here. This is a really good cycle. Well, there's a video there on cycles. 6 months later, heard Adyashanti's End of Your World. Ah, wow. No, really? I kept practicing because I'd had massive awakenings before and lost them. Wasn't going to risk it. 4 years into it, yeah, perhaps I am abiding. 6 years into it, I actually asked Adya. to its face at a group 7-day retreat. The nothingness. Your relationship to the nothingness changes so it becomes home. I use the phrase in the website in some places, impersonal nothingness. It's not personal, it's not Jason. It's I-N, I-M, one or the other. Personal, non-personal nothingness. I know that, I feel that, my consciousness comes from that place. I don't have to put up with this guy called Jason. The stillness is okay with it. Jason's not okay with Jason. Get the difference? Nothingness is fine with Jason being the way he is. Other people may or may not be fine with aspects or some of Jason. Impersonal nothingness doesn't mind. Doesn't mind. It doesn't think about it. There is no mind. It's nothingness. It's the space that allows thinking and mind to happen. But I know my beingness. Think about that word. Feel that word. Beingness. Nothingness. Impersonal nothingness. What is it? It's beingness. Hands, feet, space. No space. What's your relationship to that? Your mind, as you go through the layers of awakening, will have various levels where it freaks out and will drag you out and go chatty. But you know the solution because I've already done it numerous times in this video. Feel your hands, feel your backside, feel your feet. It's a practice. It's the habit. Down. Not here. Not, oh, I'm up with the angels. No, down here. Angels are good. They talk to me. They talk to me a lot more now that I'm in here. 6 years abiding, and when I thought I'd check them out again, very chatty to me, right? Here first. It's online courses for Reiki and Golden Ray there. You can learn to use your hands to feel the space. I do that. But it's all about being here first. Noticing this can be good when you're at work or watching TV. So you have your space, your nothingness activated through another medium as you become aware of that space. Who am I? Well, that's coming out of my hands, but it's not talking and it's not thinking. It doesn't even have a body. It's just another method, another gateway. Useful, but I don't do this to say I'm awake. Nothingness, being here all the time, tells me it's abiding, and it keeps getting deeper and more amazing. So I don't try and shut the mind up. Although it is a lot quieter, it doesn't mean it doesn't have chatty days. Stillness does not care about chatty mind. There's 2 videos on that so far. There'll be more. So who am I? Good question. The only thing you really need to focus on is down here, feeling the space and the nothingness. And don't create them in your head. They will come. You'll get used to them. You will learn to be friends with it. Then one day it'll just go, cool, that's me. Then when you hit the abiding phase, that's a whole nother deal. Then personal will starts dying on you. You don't know what's going to fall away, or when it'll fall away, or how much will fall away, and then more of it falls away. It's another journey. Some of that will happen before you enter the abiding place where you know you are nothing. Impersonal nothing. Who am I? I'm nothing. People raise their eyebrows at me when I say that. How often do you meditate? I don't stop. Their brain goes, no, not work, and they don't hear the sentence. Who am I? Well, easy. Notice your hands, breathing, lower parts of your body. Notice where chatty head is. Notice where my voice is, your screen, things around it. Notice that space. When you know within the core of yourself, that is you, And it's not head going, it's me, I'm nothing, I'm just the observer. When you're just that nothingness, that's okay with the person that's on the birth certificate that has those annoying behaviours, or saintly behaviours if you think you're saintly. You got any good questions, send them through. Want to make this journey a bit faster, make contact, go into mentoring. Let's get you on the straight and narrow. It's quick, it's smooth, saves a lot of suffering. So I'm Jason for awakenedessence.com.